Top of the morning, ladies, gentlemen, everything in between. It's your main man with the plan, Lemon Sauce, back at it again with another video. Now, it has been a long time. Know what I'm saying? What Juice WRLD say? A long time coming. I've been roll running, rocket stove stunting, smoking on runts and codeine for lunch. And yeah, I got a phone. If you know, you know. We fuck with that unreleased shit around here. You know what I'm saying? But that's neither here nor there. Today's topic of conversation is the dating epidemic of 2026. Now, me myself, I am a 24-year-old lad, you know what I'm saying? Finna reach them status, you know what I mean? And the inspiration for this video is more or less my own experiences when it comes to, like, just dating in my teen, not teens, what the fuck, nigga, I'm old as fuck. Not my teens, but, you know what I'm saying, in my 20s and shit. And, like, comparing it from my teenage years and shit. Because it was vastly different. And seeing, like, how the cultural shift has happened from then to now type shit. You feel me? Because back in the day, which is crazy to say back in the day, I'm only 24. That shit crazy. But we getting old, folks. We getting old. I'm pretty sure most of y'all watching this shit is around the same age as me. If you're younger, be blessed and not stressed. You know what I'm saying? If you're older, the same principle. But you know what I'm you know what I'm saying? Same shit, different. You know what I'm saying? Same shit, different toilet. But back in, like, we'll take it back, take it way back. Take it way back. We'll go to, like, middle school. So middle school dating kind of was like, you know, we just doing this shit for shits and giggles. Nobody knows what the fuck going on. Most of us haven't even watched any pornographic content at that age. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't really know shit about nothing. Some were a little faster than others because, you know, they don't snuck their goddamn dads hitting fucking CDs and they damn console and all that weird, you know what I'm saying, all that weird shit. But 9 times out of 10, we all were agreeing to a lot of shit. You know, had our first kiss probably middle school. If not, had the first kiss in high school. For me, I had the first kiss in middle school. Nothing too crazy. Had a couple girlfriends. If anything, maybe like 2, 3 of them motherfuckers. Now, it's not like I was a player or a baller or anything like that. I looked kind of chopped, honestly. I was a chopped ass young nigga, you feel me? But I don't know. I guess I just had that vibe. You know, I was funny as fuck, so that kind of carried me when it came to a lot of shit. But in middle school, you know, it kind of felt free. You know what I'm saying? Like, you didn't have to think too much because it wasn't nothing to think about. You didn't have no job. It was just come to school, do your homework. You know what I'm saying? Go to class, go to recess. If anything, when you broke up with said person or shawty, you know what I'm saying, or dude if you're a woman, you just kind of feel like a little anxiety, you know what I'm saying? Heart probably skipped a beat because you're like, oh my God, I'm going to see him at lunch. I'm going to see him in class tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? Shit like that. But nothing too crazy to where, like, you know, that you can't handle. Like, you're a fucking kid. You know what I mean? But then you move on to high school, and it's kind of the same things but amplified. Because all of a sudden, you know, there's this thing called gossip, which still existed in middle school. But when you get to high school, it's amplified. The things you do in high school damn near kind of follow you the rest of your life, depending on where you at. Like, most of the shit I did in high school, people still remember it to this day. Because, like, you know, I'm still in the same... If you're in the same state that you went to high school in, those niggas and bitches remember exact, like, they remember, like, if they fucked with you and, you know, they was your homeboy, homegirls, you know what I'm saying, or you dated them and shit, they remember shit that you probably done forgot. Like, I remember almost everything, but there'll still be some shit that they bring up. I'm like, damn, I forgot about that shit, nigga, you know what I'm saying? But when it came to high school dating, it was kind of just like the same as middle school, but just, you know, you have more pick of the litter, you know what I'm saying? Y'all grown as hell, all of you guys have you shit, you know, by this time, everyone has kind of really seen some pornographic content of some sort, whether they either did it or some shit like that, you know what I'm saying? And there's a reason why I'm trying to tie, you know what I'm saying, like the sex part into a lot of shit. But this is kind of like the little prelude to the general conversation, you feel me? But, you know, high school for me personally, it was all right, you know what I'm saying? My love life wasn't too crazy. I think I had like, okay, it might sound crazy, but I think I had a total of maybe, like, if I wasn't being like being myself, which is like, I didn't date that bitch, you know. I didn't date that girl, man. That was just like a little phase, bro. We never dated, bro. Cause I never had her fucking holding hands, walking around claiming that shit. So I'd say I had like two girlfriends. But If you ask my homeboys and shit, they gonna say 4, 5 or some shit, cause they gonna count the ones. I'm like, nah, nigga, don't count that, cause I didn't. If I'm not counting it, y'all don't count it type shit. But them niggas gonna count that shit, boy. They gonna count it, boy. If you got homeboys, you know how they get, boy. They gonna count. They gonna count them. Got, you know what I'm saying? They gonna count them ones, the ones you ain't trying to, you know what I'm saying? The skeletons in the closet type shit. They gonna count them motherfuckers, man. But you know that was high school in general. You know what I'm saying? Nigga lost the card and that motherfucker, all type of shit. But when it then, you know, you fast forward to college, really nothing happened when it came to college. Like, I did meet somebody, but that person wasn't affiliated with my college or anything. It was just somebody I met somewhere type shit. And it wasn't really nothing noteworthy. You know what I'm saying? The only thing that it helped me with was understand that when it comes to what I want and, you know what I'm saying, my ideal woman, you know, I can't compromise on some things. You know, like, she was a fantastic individual, but there was just certain bullet points she wasn't hitting. There were certain boxes that need to be checked that she couldn't check. It's not on her, you know what I'm saying? Because, you know, not everyone's cup of tea. But for me, I'm like, you know, I don't think I'm the right man for you. You definitely aren't the right woman for me, but I don't feel like I'm there for you completely. So that shit was dead in the water. But I say this to say, you know, my dating experience has been kind of vast. But recently I had a little situationship, which I kind of really fucked with a lot. You know what I'm saying? She was definitely a vibe. If I was to give her a rating, I would say 12 out of 10. You know what I'm saying? And I'm confident in saying that because, shit, we was vibing and shit. But this is where the premise of this video is, like, made on. Because I started, like, breaking down, like, because some shit, like, Shawty was, you know what I'm saying, going through some shit. So she kind of, like, was like, you know, let me work on myself and shit. And I got me thinking, like, damn, like, if you had to work on yourself this whole time, like, why did we even, like, you know what I'm saying, why did we kickstart what we was doing type shit? And that's kind of the root of why this video is being made right now. You know what I'm saying? So what I'm going to do now is kind of break down, like, different components of why I believe, like, dating in this generation is harder than previous ones. Because, you know, you had the horse and the carriage back in the day. You had the fucking... I don't know. I just feel like when it comes to dating nowadays, you have to go above and beyond and compromise on so much shit. Because, you know, we did have the great renaissance of everyone fucking, like, validating their feelings. And it's okay for you to feel as a man. And as a woman, it's okay for you to feel as well. But I feel like we're starting to kind of... not overvalue, but we're starting to, like, value it so much to the point where we're making compromises that we normally wouldn't make, if you guys know what I'm saying. Like, let's say me as a person, I'm a super gamer. Like, I play the game a lot. You know what I'm saying? I fuck with gaming. I love this shit. You know what I'm saying? I live for this shit damn near. I can't go. I can go like maybe like a week without gaming, but other than that, like, I'm a fiend for this shit. I'm down there an addict. You know what I'm saying? But and that example of that would be like, I'm talking to a shawty and she just hates the game. She don't want shit to do with it. Every time she sees it, it makes her sick. Like, me being on the game causes her to have some type of, like, animosity, you know, or hate, and she's just like, no, I don't like when you play the game. Just stop playing the game. Now, most men of this generation will be like, oh, okay, you know, instead of me not playing the game, just when I'm around you, I'm not gonna play it. But then you got a nigga like me that's like, I ain't gonna lie, if you ain't gonna try to tussle and muscle with this fucking game, get the fuck on, because there's certain shit I'm not compromising on. I'm not compromising on this game. I'm not compromising on my comedic, you know, how I do my comedy. And I'm just not compromising on certain shit, because I feel like you gotta have some type of ground. You know, there has to be a line in the sand where if they cross that boundary of trying to rework you, you know what I'm saying? But not in like a positive way, but like kind of trying to kill your qualities, if you know what I'm saying. Like, turn you into who they want you to be instead of you being who you know. I feel like that's where shit's going nowadays. Everyone wants to transform someone into their ideal lover or their ideal husband, you know what I'm saying, or wife, which, you know, that it's a goal, but you shouldn't try to neuter who they are to fit what you want them to be, if you know what I'm saying. But one thing that because I asked my homies, you know what I'm saying, on, you know, so on the PSN, I asked them like, what are some things that you guys like what are some problems with dating, you know what I'm saying, that you guys have or that you guys see from either the outside looking in or personal experience. And one thing that they said that, you know, I really don't know too much about is entitlement. And I feel like when it comes to entitlement, it's really just like sometimes I feel like I'm not gonna just say women because it's not just women. Some men do it too. But like I said, the people I surround myself with, my homies and homettes, they don't do shit that you know what I'm saying the bots do. I call them bots because they be doing some NPC ass shit, like shit that normal people wouldn't do. You know what I'm saying? Like a dude wanting a woman to pay for dinner. That to me is foreign as fuck. Why the fuck would you want the lady to pay for dinner, motherfucker? Like you the man, you pay the tab for the dinner. You feel me? Like should you do it 100% of the time? That's up to how you were raised and what you do. Me personally, if we going out, she don't pull out the purse. The purse stays right there. She ain't gotta whip it out. But excuse me, if she were to be like, oh, um, like I don't fucking know. I ain't gonna lie. I'm really a special case when it comes to that shit because at the end of the day, I don't like my lady bringing out her wallet. I don't like people paying, buying shit for me in general. So I probably just wouldn't, entertain that shit at all. But I can understand if another guy is like, oh, I fucking bought all this shit. I kind of want her to, you know what I'm saying? Just show me that money ain't an issue to her as much as it's not to me. And I'm like, some women weren't raised that way, bro. Like they weren't. Like they were taught, nigga, the man pays for 90% of the shit and she helps him when he's down bad. Not because, he just wants to see tester or whatever the fuck. You know what I'm saying? So some niggas be having their own thing on that. Me personally, when it comes to entitlement, I don't see it because I'm like, as a man, you do have a certain, like, everyone's supposed to have their role, which transitions into the next point of gender roles being kind of like flipped. Like, sometimes the woman wants to try to be the man of the relationship without the man being able to lead. Like they don't want the man to lead, they want to lead. And it's like, well, you can't have both. You can't have your cake and eat it. You can't really like lead a man like a motherfucker, but the nigga paying for everything. Like nigga, he gotta lead because he paying all that. He paying the way. He paving the way for your ass. Now, to me personally, I feel like women should uplift their man, support them, help them. Obviously, don't just get on your hands and knees and just grovel and do all that bullshit, but just support him and make sure he's straight, because if he's being a man as he's supposed to be, he's leading you to victory, and you're supposed to be there behind him, kind of cheering him on to get him through his darkest times. You know what I'm saying? That's how I view a woman in a relationship, as support. Like she ain't supposed to be the main breadwinner. Some people, they flip the script and they want to do that shit. That's on them. That's not me. I want to be the breadwinner. I want to make the cheese and make shit happen so she can go and, have her hot side hobby and get some shit going on the side in case my shit fall through. Then she can hold us down until I get back on my feet. You know what I'm saying? That's my whole goal when it comes to that shit. Another thing is hookup culture. I feel like that is what is really kind of fucking up the whole vibe when it comes to dating of this generation because everyone wants to hook up without having any emotional attachment. And that's one thing that happened with my little situation was like we hooked up and that's kind of the first time I ever had sex with somebody that wasn't my girlfriend because I literally told myself like I can't be doing that sex shit with people that's not my girl because I know how I get. I damn near get, not gonna say territorial, but I do get territorial. Like nigga, if you talking to somebody else, bro, I'm gonna feel blowed because like what the fuck, like what's this? I feel like when you have sex with somebody, it's a connection, like a spiritual connection. Now I don't be going to church and shit like that, but I still believe like those principles exist. Those are soul ties. Like you shouldn't just dick off and just say oh fuck it, I'ma just do me and I don't know. That having that I think it's promiscuity, whatever the fuck the word is. Like when you just going and just fucking everybody and all that shit. I can't get behind that. That's disgusting to me. You know what I'm saying? But for some reason, the music that we listen to today, a lot of them encourage that type of behavior, where oh girl just fuck them, like fuck it, like just do it, or like dude just fuck, like we had the music back in the day, back in like the 90s, you know what I'm saying, where it was just going fuck bitches get money. But I'm like, we live in a different time, you know what I'm saying? It's very different nowadays than it was back then. And speaking of like past, present, future, you know what I'm saying? Speaking of the tenses, one thing that I really am starting to like get sick of, honestly, like as a man, like I'm not gonna lie to you, I get tired of hearing all these trauma stories. Like I do understand everyone goes through shit, everyone has trauma. But you cannot let your past define who you are today. Like, you cannot let that cycle continue where you let it like beat your ass every morning you wake up like, but this happened to me and that happened. Because everyone grew up with some bullshit going on. I grew up with some bullshit. You grew up with some bullshit who's listening right now. But are we using that as an excuse for why we can't move forward, why we can't progress as human beings? No. Well, some of us are. Well, me and you listening, hopefully, well, I'm not, but hopefully you're not either, you know what I'm saying? I don't know how you are, but hopefully you stop that shit. If you are doing that, cut that shit out. Because in my eyes, at the end of the day, we're all grown men and women. Or if you're not grown, you're not 21 plus, then you're still growing. Well, us as 20, 24, 25, 21 up, 21 up club, we're still growing as well as humans. We're not 30 yet, so we're not really defined yet. You know what I'm saying? We're not in the end game. We're still in our mid game phase. Some of us are done. Shit, if you made it rich when you was a young nigga, hey, you know what I'm saying? I tip my fucking hat. You know what I'm saying? But I'm still grinding. You know what I mean? So until I get there, I'm still in mid game. But when it comes to it, I feel like we just got to be more open to each other, and have more communication and specify if you do have trauma that kind of prohibits you from dating or really being yourself. I feel like you should let that be known. I'm not gonna say like immediately, but just put caution to the wind. Like, hey, I done been through some shit, and it kind of affects me now. And I want to work through it. Because that's one thing about being in a relationship. You got to be able to work through shit together. Like, working through it alone is cool and all, but what's the point of you even starting to talk to somebody or getting some shit going if you're not trying to move on it? You're just gonna keep repeating the cycle. Because sometimes it takes another set of eyes to help you move forward or to analyze some shit. Because we all don't know all the answers. We're only human. At the end of the day. We all got our own quirks. We all got our own upsides and downsides. But at the end of the day, we do need some help. We are humans. We need help. We're social creatures. We need all that. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like that's really what it is. If you guys do want a part 2 to this, this is just a little intro to it. You know what I'm saying? Getting into this kind of just, I really would call it rambling style of content or video. But if you guys did enjoy this little TED Talk, let me know in the comments down below. And I also want to know, what are your guys' dating experiences of 2026? Are you guys having success? Are you guys like me, where you're kind of like just going through the motions? Let me know in the comments down below. And with that, I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Thank you for listening. Know what I'm saying? Hit that like button if you enjoyed. You know what I'm saying? Don't like it if it was ass. Go ahead and comment. Let me know what I can fix on this motherfucker. Kind of just did like a kind of rambling style. Didn't really have any cuts or anything like that. Kind of just want to just free flow this motherfucker. But later videos, I will be doing cuts and edits and actually editing the shit. Right now, I'm just kind of getting back into the group of everything. So let me guys know what your dating experiences are down below, and have a wonderful day.